Ram Jethmalani, why now? Why has this decision been taken now in your view and not earlier?
Well, I really can't, I can't really explain this, but I must share with you a few facts which probably people don't know, and maybe even you don't know enough. You know, somebody had approached me for him. I can't recall who it was, but it was some relation of his. And I had told that person that you communicate to him that if he swears by the Holy Quran that he really repents the crimes that he has committed, that he will hereafter be a loyal Indian citizen, and third, that he will use every effort of his to put an end to the practice of terrorism in this country and obey all the instructions given to him by the government of India from time to time, I will do whatever I can in legal and political circles to secure a pardon for him. I was told that he had agreed to do it, but I insisted upon a sworn affidavit in jail, and it never came to me. And the only thing that is worrying me today, I mean, the man deserved the death sentence, there is no doubt about it. And I don't believe that it was a case for pardon. Except that what is bothering me today is that the Supreme Court was considering the question of delay in execution being a ground for commutation of the death sentence. The arguments have been over in that matter. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court has not delivered judgment for a long time, unconscionably long time if you ask me, and the execution of all other convicts seem to have been stayed. I don't know whether the execution of this gentleman, this accused, was also stayed or not. Somebody has to inquire. I am not in a position to give you a correct answer on that issue. But I believe that the long delay that had taken place in execution would be covered by the judgment which the Supreme Court will deliver. This is my only anxiety. Otherwise, he fully deserved his fate.
Sir, I don't want to cross swords with you, but
and listen, you
have changed your position on Afzal Guru a couple of occasions over the last 5 to 6 years.
Sorry?
Mr. Jethmalani, with great respect, but I don't want to let that one-on-one conversation, which I hope to have with you one day, take away from what I want to debate, which is this. And my next question is to Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Dr. Singhvi,
yes.
What this decision today indicated was that when there is a political will, there is a way. So the question is, why was the will missing earlier? What led to the sudden turnaround? What happened to the excuse that law and order will be at the mercy of antisocial elements if Afzal Guru is hanged, which is what Sheila Dikshit said in May 2010?
Arnab, let me start on a lighter note. I think this is the classic dilemma, especially which journalists love to exploit. You are damned if you do, you are damned if you don't. So there is no point of time when you will not pick up a critical question. And I think that is unanswerable. Point number two, I am happy that this has happened as per a constitutional process. I am happy that we have not succumbed to a very large amount of divisive politics generated on this issue, dehors the legal and constitutional process by the BJP. I am happy that we don't have to give a badge of patriotism and jingoism by saying, look, I hung you first, and I hung you before first, and I hung you second. And I think the BJP's stand on this has been purely political. Number three, a very eminent lawyer, sometimes a member of the BJP, sometimes not a member of the BJP, my dear friend Mr. Jethmalani, in a sense, contradicts the BJP stand because he considers that even hanging him now may not have been the right time. But I'm just saying that by the way, because he's an independent voice and you can't really pin him down into the contours of the BJP. Although I did think that he's a member of the BJP. Fourth, yes, I accept that there has been perhaps a longer delay than was intended or should have happened in this. But the first concrete thing, apart from sensationalizing and we do tutu meme in politics, I think the time has come a long while ago to put an absolute clear legal time limit post Supreme Court judgment for the final decision on all mercy petitions including execution should be in the range of at the most 1 year or 18 months. And I think that will make all this chick and all this tutu meme of politics less. It will make for more substance and less sensationalism. So Fifthly, I think this 6 or 7 year delay, very quickly now.
This chick, a wonderful expression to which I do not have an English synonym.
Alleged here.
This chick and this tutu meme. In the context of that, I would like to humbly remind you, and I want to extend this debate to Seshadri Chari.
Arnav, I haven't finished.
Sir, may I?
Arnav, I haven't finished.
May I quote a gentleman? May I quote you to you? May I quote you to you?
No, can I just finish? But can I finish? Then I'd love to hear you quoting me to me. Let me just finish in half a second. The 6 or 7 year delay alleged in the Afzal Guru case is not, it's a misleading figure because there is a process that the recommendation goes from the prosecuting state, the NCT, then to the Home Minister, then to the President. The moment the President asks one single question, the whole process repeats.
I must interrupt.
When the President changes, it again goes.
This process,
so there is a delay of 2
how
3
am I certain, Dr. Singhvi?
And lastly, I want to say one more thing, please.
I knew that you would say it is a process and a procedure. Sir, my question is...
No. I'm not saying... I was saying
sir, my question is with all respect, sir. I knew you have one argument, the matter of procedure. Something as simple as getting a recommendation of the Delhi government requires 16 reminders. Requires 16 reminders from the Ministry of Home Affairs. So the question is not, Dr. Singhvi, of procedure. The question is one of intent. Seshadri Chari, you want to draw it? Seshadri Chari.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you, Arnav, on this issue. The question is absolute intent. It was the same government which was all along saying that we cannot jump the queue.
Yeah.
And if this government could jump the queue for the sake of Ajmal Kasab, they again jumped the queue in the case of Afzal Guru. And the same government was all along saying that the presidential pardon, we are waiting for the presidential pardon,
the queue,
which was one of the biggest hoax this government has played on this country, because if you go by the constitutional procedure, it is the cabinet which sends the recommendation to the president. If the president does not agree with that recommendation, he can send it to the cabinet only once.
I will come.
And if the cabinet comes back to the president saying that no, we stand by our decision, the president of India cannot reject the cabinet decision at all.
This has
then why this government has been blaming former President Pratibha Patil? On what basis?
I will get a response, equal response from Abhishek Manu Singhvi, and before Sabha and Ujjwal Nikam I come to you. I want to go once to Ram Jethmalani because I know he has a flight to catch, I'm told. The question is to Ram Jethmalani that what happened to the queue? Regardless of your own position on what you feel about Afzal Guru, tell me, Ram Jethmalani. Abhishek Manu Singhvi said on the 27th of May 2011, there is a list which cannot be leapfrogged. Let us maintain the sobriety of the constitutional process. We are not indulging in vote bank politics. That was Abhishek Manu Singhvi in 2011.
The action of the government is wholly unintelligible. Nobody can find a rational explanation for it. Whatever explanation they have to offer, they are not offering. And Abhishek Singhvi is not telling us what actually the reason is, why this happened today and not before. So, I mean, it will all remain a mystery.
Which is what?
People will be entitled to draw the inference that the government always acts for oblique reasons.
Explain oblique reasons. Don't leave the definition of oblique.
Well, oblique is oblique. Can you define it any further? I mean, that which has no reference to any settled principle of justice.
Abhishek Singhvi, explain to us. Oblique reason, says Ram Jethmalani. For the longest time, thank you, Mr. Jethmalani. Actually, wait for Abhishek Manu Singhvi's reply. For the longest time, there has been confusion in government circles on whether or not a queue system should exist in deciding these matters. As is evident now, there was no queue. So why did your government's logic fall flat tonight?
I will love to hear my friend Abhishek.
Two answers. You may not be satisfied with the answer, Ram. Two answers. One, that the government is not obliged to give a reason before the hanging, and it has not given one. And I'm not here to speculate on the reason for the day and the time, because had they done it on the 22nd of March, somebody would have said it's the intercession period. Had they done it on 10th of May, the BJP would have said it's before the monsoon session. So there is no way I can give a reason for it. But I want to make a very quick second point. It's a political point. As a Rajya Sabha member in 2006 or 7 on the floor of the House, I placed a list of some 19 or 20 persons on death row. Included there were Rajiv Gandhi's killers.
Yeah.
From 98 to 2004, I asked the question, how many of them were touched or dealt with for execution? The answer was that from 98 to 2004, one alone had been executed. I asked the question as to how, on what basis the BJP justified that from 98 to 2004, including killers of Rajiv Gandhi, nobody was hanged. The answer which I gave myself was that there was no answer except that when you are in governance, you have to do things according to a certain system. When you are in the opposition with no accountability, it's easy to make accusations.
Sir, you haven't answered my question on whether there was a list. Was it a figment of Abhishek Manu Singhvi's imagination?
No, of course there was a list. And I stand by it that you cannot, generally keep resolving it. But
how come the list disappeared now? Where is the queue? No, I'm not talking of list. Where is the queue?
I would like to ask,
one minute. Nobody suggested Arnab.
The list that
nobody has suggested ever.
At that time, which he is talking about 1990 to 2004, where is that list? Where is that list? If that list
I am telling you, there is a list.
How did he jump the queue?
No, his point is that during Lal Krishna Advani's tenure as Home Minister, how many decisions on mercy petitions were taken, Mr. Chari? My information is that none. And despite the Tamil Nadu state government's accepting the advice of the state cabinet and recommending the death penalty for Rajiv's assassins, your government, the NDA government, did nothing on the matter.
No,
does that not expose the hypocrisy of the BJP in targeting the Congress over Afzal Guru?
It's not the question of doing nothing. This procedure, the same procedure has been followed by the J&K government also, and in which case also the same kind of procedures have been followed. We are not saying that the government has not followed the procedure. The judiciary is taken as its own